Hey everybody, and welcome to a special Geek Freaks Game of Thrones episode part 2.
Whoop, whoop.
I am with Jonathan.
Hey, yo.
And my name is Frank. Today we are going over our predictions and what we're looking forward to and where everybody's at right now in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Last week we had that super long review
Yes.
where our voices almost left. So it was a shorter breath after that one. So this one we're just getting you ready for the next episode. If you haven't watched the show before, listen to our last episode so you can get caught up on everything. And if you are just pumped or excited, here we go.
Yeah.
You know?
The day this releases will be about a week before or 6 days before the next episode.
I think that's
like
about.
that.
I'll make sure that it's right up to it, or that we're close to it.
Cool.
So we don't go over. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to first do. Is we're going to talk about each character the main characters that are in season 8, and where they're at, so that you kind of know where you left off.
Yes.
It's been 2 years since season 7.
Gosh, so long.
How dare you, HBO?
I know.
How dare you?
It's been so lonely.
Better be faster than that with the freaking prequel. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
So let's start with Arya Stark, our favorite assassin. Her current location is Winterfell. Last season, she killed Peter Baelish, Littlefinger. So we left her off at Winterfell. She's with her family. And she has that Valyrian blade, which I think is going to become important.
Yeah.
Because we know that Valyrian blades, just like dragon glass, can kill White Walkers.
Yeah, and there's very little Valyrian steel left, and they would point it out for a reason. I mean, it was from the first episode they pointed out where that blade came or what kind it is, but they did mention it again, I guess, in this last episode. Right.
And then another important thing, too, is she hasn't seen Jon since season 1.
Yeah.
Jon is her BFF, so it's going to be really cool to see them reunite. So that'll be awesome. Next up, Sansa Stark, which is Arya's eldest sister. She has gone through one of the biggest dramatic changes throughout the whole show. A weak little girl, now she's a badass leader of Winterfell.
Yeah.
She's currently the Lord of Winterfell. That's where she's at right now. She learned a lot from Littlefinger and then got rid of him.
Yeah, he was trying to pit the two of them against each other and break up the family and stuff like that. Bran helped reveal his hidden agenda and whatnot.
Exactly.
And then
Bran's awesome.
Sansa calls out Arya. Arya slits Jon's throat, or Littlefinger's throat, and they clean up the mess.
Yeah.
I like it.
So we see Sansa, who the one thing that we need to keep an eye on is she doesn't quite agree with everything that Jon says, and Jon has more of the leadership role as King of the North. So she feels like she should be the leader of Winterfell, and sometimes Jon's like, no, this is how we're doing it. I'm King of the North.
Yeah.
In a very like good, noble way, not like an asshole, but it's something to keep an eye on.
I feel like she's going the way of Varys, where he is looking out for the greater good of the realm, not necessarily any one kingdom. But I don't think she's there yet. I don't think she has that much experience to be able to make those kind of decisions yet.
Well, I think a lot of it is Sansa learned from 3 people. She learned from Cersei Lannister, Tyrion Lannister, and Littlefinger.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
They're all pretty rough.
Yeah, so she knows the politics of everything, how things are perceived.
Yeah.
Jon Snow's a battle master. He knows how to win wars. So I think they're two sides of the same coin. And when they work together, unstoppable. But they just need to work together. So I think that's the problem right there.
Is the Lady of Highgarden still alive?
No, she was killed. Lady Olenna died last season.
Okay, because she would have been a good one for her to study under. That would.
Well, she did learn some things from her. Remember, Marjorie and her pulled her aside.
Yeah.
And so there was a little bit of that. She learned from all the best, which is funny because she started as a naive girl that was just like, I want to be a princess. And now she's just like...
dresses.
Yeah, so... Jon Snow, his current location is in White Harbor. White Harbor is like the main harbor for the North. It's one of the things that's more important than other content, but for the show, it's the main harbor for the North.
It's directly east of Winterfell, right?
It is directly west of Winterfell. I want to say west. Maybe it is east.
I think it's east.
One of those two, yeah. But anyway, so basically he made a deal with Cersei that they're going to send up their army to the north. He's heading to Winterfell to get ready to fight. On the way there, he hooked up with Daenerys Targaryen, making bacon. And so he's in a really good position right now. He's pretty happy.
And affirmed his fealty for her, right?
He did. So
he calls her my queen.
Yeah.
Which is awesome in 2 ways, because it could be that, hey, I'm bending a knee to you as my queen. Right. He even says, like, I'd bend a knee, but I'm not in the place or whatever. But also, the two of them pairing up, him king, her queen, working together side by side.
So strong.
A new kingdom that will, last forever.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
So a couple important things that popped out from last season that we want to make sure to remember right now. He doesn't know it yet, but he is the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark.
So he is a Targaryen.
Nobody knows
Stark.
about that. Lyanna, Stark. So he is Stark and Targaryen. He is actually the rightful ruler of the throne. Really, it was crazy. But nobody knows that yet except for Bran, who's about to break the news, and Sam is realizing that too.
Yes,
because Gilly actually found it out, which is cool. I like that of how smart Sam is. Gilly's the one reading things like, "Hey, wait a minute, there's a secret wedding." So
that's a cute little relationship too. How he saved her from being a wildling and was it Craster's Keep?
Yeah,
and brought her down there. And now she's actually becoming a smart, educated woman.
She saved him from virginity. So here we go, Bran Stark. Bran Stark, he's basically a magic wizard who can see the past, slightly into the future. He can control other things.
I wouldn't say magic wizard. He can't cast spells.
I'm trying. Well, okay, yeah, actually, I'm thinking more.
He's a green seer.
Yeah, he's a green seer. Actually, that's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of our last episode when I was trying to be as vague as possible for people who haven't seen the show before.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you all know the show. So
he has the power of vision. He can see
through the
past,
weird trees and
he can see the past anywhere. He could see the present anywhere, and he could see some small glimpses of the future.
Yeah.
And then he can but he could see the present anywhere or just through the weird trees.
He can see through the weird trees. Anywhere. Anywhere. Which is a lot of times what he'll do is he'll possess a crow.
Yeah.
And fly over to see it. That's how he's been watching the White Walkers coming.
He could possess any creatures.
Yeah.
And some.
He could possess groups of people, groups of creatures too now.
Hordes.
Yeah. So
nice.
We'll get into the theories phase, but I think he could also possess dragons.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That look on your face is great.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Next, and he's at Winterfell right now. Next up, Cersei Lannister, who is at King's Landing because she doesn't ever leave King's Landing. She is pregnant with who we think is Jaime's. She says is Jaime's kid.
Yeah.
There's some theories that go the other way around that.
Either him or Lancel, right? Is there anybody else that she sleeps with?
Euron Greyjoy. Well, she could have slept with Euron Greyjoy.
Yeah.
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 I think it's better if it's Jaime's kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, so one big thing is she was supposed to be paying the Iron Bank, which is this like big financier, but that money got taken by Daenerys with a dragon attack.
Sucker.
Yeah, so she still owes the Iron Bank, which might sway any war. She has the Gold Company coming in, which is this army that mercenaries. She has them coming in to fight the war for her, but there might be a little twist there as well.
They might be funded by the Iron Bank and decide to take her out and take back the money.
That too, but they're also all descendants of Targaryens.
Oh.
They're Targaryen bastards.
Really? I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so back when there was like a Targaryen civil war, some of the bastards left to create their own mercenary company. The Blackfire people, that's what their last name was, like Snow. Blackfire was the bastards. They secretly, they're all a little bit Targaryen, so I think that might come back.
Wow, that's good.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, next up, Jaime Lannister. He felt, and Cersei feels like she said she was going to go with Jon Snow and Daenerys to fight the White Walkers. She plans on turning on him.
Yeah.
Jaime Lannister, who is on the road from King's Landing, is not on board with that. He thinks that you should be true to your word because now he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He went from bad guy to good guy, and he wants to go to the north and try to help him out. He's probably going to join Brotherhood Without Banners. Really, that seems like his kind of crew.
Good fit.
But that's a good crew for him to hang out with. So he's heading north. I think what he's going to end up doing, I think he's going to lead the like legitimate army of the north. So like Jon Snow is now king. He needs to get off the battlefield a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe he will, but I think the battle plans part should be Jaime. Jaime's even learned from Robb Stark on things. He used that in season 7.
True.
So it's pretty cool, you know. All right, Tyrion Lannister. He's currently at White Harbor. He was on the ship with Jon and Daenerys. He is advising everything right now. He's a little worried about their relationship. It was funny because Peter Dinklage at one point was saying, "Oh, it's because he loves Jon or he loves Daenerys." But since then, I think the narrative might have changed a little bit. Like, he's not saying that part as much anymore. When did they do interviews with Peter Dinklage? So now it's more like he's just worried that they're going to mess things up.
Yeah.
So it's almost like this was like a backyard plan, but they changed it.
He respects them both too much to see them come together and weaken as a couple, maybe.
Yeah, and Daenerys' trust in him is a little shaky because his battle plans were not as great as they should have been.
Yeah.
You know, so that's up there too. All right, next up, Daenerys Targaryen, also White Harbor. She's the third person on the ship, and of course, her and Jon hooked up. It's predicted that she probably is going to get pregnant. I'm going to assume she's going to get pregnant with Jon's baby.
It's a bad time. Well, I mean, it takes a while for it to grow, but yeah.
Yeah, she's got 9 months to win a war, so before it's an issue. And she's been going back and forth, trading blows with Cersei. Again, she has the deals with Cersei to fight the White Walkers, but they're heading north to get the job done. Theon Greyjoy, he's currently leaving Dragonstone. He's been working with Yara, and he pledged allegiance with Daenerys, but that all kind of fell apart. His main thing is to save his sister, who was taken by Euron Greyjoy, his crazy-ass uncle, and try to save her.
Yeah, he had to fight to get his, because he abandoned his sister when they were in that battle.
Yeah, he cowered out one more time.
Jumped in
that
the water.
reek is still there.
Yeah,
It's
and
sad.
so, but he had a very meaningful conversation with John. You remember that when they were in the hall and
Describe what happened.
I can't remember where they were, but they were together, and he's talking about having regrets, and he tells John, "Well, you've always known the right thing to say, the right thing to do," and John's like, "No, maybe it looks like that from the outside, but I've made many mistakes. I have lots of regrets," and kind of shows the humility of John, that he's not just the perfect king that he looks like he should be. Reek, or Theon, mentions that he betrayed the family, and John's like, yeah, you have, but there's, I can't forgive you for all your mistakes, all the things you've done, but the ones that I can forgive you for I do. And then so that was like a big blow to Theon. Like, you are now the leader of House Stark, the king of the North. You're a huge power figure, and you're forgiving me for ruining your family, betraying your family, and taking over your house. So
it's like a forgive but not forget kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's just, to me, it seems like a huge burden that just came off his shoulders, because he was tortured so much, and there's just so much resentment that he can't let go from that time in his life. Yeah. And now, this guy that was raised with him as his brother, who he betrayed, has forgiven him of all that.
It's so, man, the story.
Yeah, so you can
is amazing.
Sense that weight being lifted off his shoulders, and then he's. I think John asked him what you're planning on doing, and he says, well, my sister, I vowed to protect her, and she needs me. And then John's like, so what are you doing here talking to me?
Yeah.
And so he goes to the beach, he finds the last of his men boarding boats to get back on the ship, and they say, oh, we're going to go find the nearest island and pillage it and rape everybody and just live our lives. Yeah, we're gonna live the way we want to live. And he's like, no, we promised to protect Yara. And the guy's like, well, you say that, but you're the one who, wimped out and left her for dead and jumped in the water, blah, blah, blah. They fight. He kills the guy on the beach, and then he tells the rest of them, we're going after Yara. They jump in the boats. They're going to go find her.
I didn't remember that, so I'm glad you reminded me of that.
Yeah, I just watched that episode last night. It's like,
I think that's the next episode I'm watching again, because we've been catching up on all the seasons. So
yeah, it's a good scene. One. I like that little bit of redemption for him, though. I feel like he really deserved it, even though he was a piece of crap earlier on.
I would like to see out of Theon, just like out of Yara as well, I'd like to see that Greyjoy might used for good.
Yeah.
Because, these guys are badass pirates.
Yeah.
Now be good pirates.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's pretty cool. All right. Speaking of Yara Greyjoy, she's in the dungeons at King's Landing. Mm-hmm. She was betrayed by Euron Greyjoy and Theon to a degree, and so she's kind of stuck down there. She is the damsel in distress right now that Theon's going to go save. Mm-hmm. Euron Greyjoy, someone who I think is so underwhelming. He's such a badass character, needs to be used more.
Yeah.
So hopefully we see a little bit more out of him. But he's currently at King's Landing. He came back with his whole prizes. He brought in the snakes, and stuff like that from Dorne, and of course his niece. So I like to see what he's gonna do.
I think he plays off well as a good character in the show too. He's a very interesting character, but I don't think they've developed him enough in the show to really show why he is or who he is.
We're not going to try to reference the book stuff.
Exactly. And
in the book, he's 100 times legit 15 times more badass.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
And his brother.
Oh yeah. Oh god, that's a mischaracter right there.
Yep.
Sam and Gilly, their location is Winterfell. They started the season off last time at Citadel, where he was learning and stuff like that.
Cured Mormont's grayscale.
Yeah, which was crazy that he was able to do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's such a gross ass scene. But yeah, it's like he wasn't. They were taking a long time of teaching him. He's like, look, guys, we have a battle to win. Yeah. I can't do this.
It's going on now. We have to move.
Yeah. So he knows enough. He's going up there. He's going to help Jon.
Yeah.
This is what Maesters are made out of. They're not going to sit in their castle and wait for the storm to go across.
Yeah.
He's going to go out there and do it. So, attaboy Sam and Gilly.
Mm-hmm.
Gilly, who is really kind of stepping up a little bit more and more and more. We're getting more from her. She's got her little baby Sam, so it's cute. But yeah. Brienne Tarth, one of my favorite characters. She's also in White Harbor. She returned Sansa. She protected the girls. Sansa anyways. She's been training Podrick, which I really like Podrick.
Yes, that's cool. Good to see. She even at one point mentioned to Sansa, can I leave Podrick with you to protect you, because he's now capable with the sword or something, competent with the sword. So it's good to see that she's training him and recognizing that he's achieved it now. He can be trusted as a knight, even though he might not be as experienced as most. He's still he's growing.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And then one big thing too to remember is Jaime's on his way, and they got a little something going on. Jaime and Brienne had a little like love triangle-esque thing.
At least passionate respect for each other.
Yeah. The one person who's not going to be happy with that is Tormund Giantsbane.
And the Hound, because I think he's got a secret thing for her.
You think so?
I don't know. Just like Tormund, her mass and her bruteness kind of turns on the big guys, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is. I love how you got this wild and it's like,
hey, I'm gonna tame her.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. He's like she's a big bear.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
wild stallion. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Okay, then we go to Davos Seaworth. He's my favorite character. He's also in White Harbor because he's always on the side of. He's the hand of the king, basically. I don't know if he's considered officially hand of the king, but I would assume he is.
Yeah.
To Jon Snow. Right hand man, and one thing I love about him, I just wanted to talk. I didn't talk about it last time, but I want to talk about it this time. I love when 2 times I can think of it. One time where Stannis is trying to appease the Iron Bank. Second time when Jon is trying to win over Daenerys. Where like the leader and a leader are talking and it's not going over well, and Davos steps in and like, look, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Stannis is a true guy. He took my 3 fingers and I followed him into battle. You know what I'm saying? And with Jon Snow, it's
legitimizes
like,
the leaders.
Yeah. Jon Snow's like, he's such a good leader. He ends up letting it slip a little bit. He's like, such a good leader. He even takes a knife to the heart. And he's like, never mind that part. But he's just like, he is my favorite character. I really, really, really like him.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about him.
Yeah. I think
he's Han Solo after Han Solo went good.
With all this issues they're having with the Greyjoys, I think it would be good to see him step in and lead the fleet. Because Theon and...
Yeah, but I don't know if he's necessarily like a raider like them. He's more of a scoundrel.
No, I mean lead the fleet to support Jon's efforts, not to go back and be a Greyjoy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Be the new leader of the fleet. I see what you're saying. What you're saying. Yeah.
Because he's, he's, I don't know, experienced on...
My big thing, though, is it's like... Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because he is a very nice person.
Yeah.
It's just that
Maybe he's a better advisor than a general, though.
He's a hell of a good advisor.
Yeah.
If Stannis had listened to him, Stannis would not be in the spot he's in. Which is a shame because Stannis' girls wouldn't have paid for it.
Yeah.
All right, Qyburn. He's probably one of my least favorite characters. He's this like dark maester type character that's been assisting Cersei this whole time.
Yeah.
He has created the Robert Strong character, and he's currently just at King's Landing scheming. So I predict, this is an early prediction, we're not really at that point yet, but I think he's actually working on Wildfire again.
Yeah.
Because
what did it take to make that? Was that just something somebody created many years ago?
There's alchemists in the city that are like dedicated to that. I think
okay.
he's probably working with them to create wildfire weapons.
Okay.
Because I think if anybody's going to burn that city down, it won't be Daenerys and her dragons. It'll be Cersei and I'm going down with flames kind of thing.
I can see that.
Varys, he's also at White Harbor. Varys is a advisor to Daenerys, and to Tyrion. I really like that scene because we got to remember that in season 1, Varys is actually the one that sent the assassin to kill Dany.
Yeah.
And then later on, when Dany approaches him on this, like, hey, who sent the guys that Robert sent?
Yeah.
It was me.
This is when they first got to Dragonstone, right?
Yeah. But I really liked how he's like, I'm here for the people. Yeah. And
while you all battle and everybody else below you is suffering, I'm here to support them, not the kings and queens who want to sit on the throne.
Yeah. And it's so juxtaposed to Littlefinger because these two have always been playing a game of chess.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you really didn't know what the reasoning was before at that point. In season 7, we learned that Littlefinger is out to make money. He's out to become more and more powerful.
Yeah.
And with Varys, we find out it's for the people. And man, that just makes me so happy.
Yeah. And it's funny. It almost seems like Littlefinger knows that he can get more power without taking a kingdom as the king.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't try to put himself in that seat. He won't
do that until the very last second when he marries the right person.
Yeah.
That's why he thinks Sansa's good for.
Yeah.
But Varys, so one thing what's really cool is he says, I'm backing you because I think you're what's best for the people. You're the best chance.
Yeah.
And so Cersei tells him, like, do me a favor. If you ever feel like I'm not backing the people, that I'm not good for the people, tell me to my face instead of trying to go behind my back. And then she says...
Is there other promise?
Yeah, and then she says, but I'm going to promise you, if you ever stab me in the back, I'm going to burn you alive.
Yeah.
And Varys is like, I'm on board.
And she has like a little bit of a grin, it seemed like, when she says that too. Yeah. Like, I don't know. That was an honest promise, but she's kind of like, knows that sparks fear in him, I guess.
Yeah. I just love her.
She's not joking around.
I love the both of them. Varys has always been a really great character.
Yeah.
Him and Tyrion scenes together are some of the best scenes in the show.
Yeah.
Grey Worm and Missandei, they're at White Harbor right now.
We
couldn't think of the name last episode, but They're just getting along.
Yeah.
Those two are. We've already seen a love scene between the two of them. Would hate to see one of them die, but I mean, it makes sense that one of them would die and it'd bring the emotions out of the other one.
Yeah.
I could see like a big battle. Maybe Missandei goes down, Grey Worm freaks out and murders somebody, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You hate to see one of them die, but their love is so tragic, tragedy waiting to happen. So you don't really count on it. Jorah Mormont, he's in White Harbor as well. Everybody's in White Harbor right now.
Yeah.
That's where that boat. That's where that love boat went.
Yeah.
He's cured from grayscale, and he is forever loyal with Daenerys. He's with the Brotherhood a lot, and he's with Jon a lot. He is just a loyal servant. He's turned his ways. He's out there redeeming his name. He was
with Jon in the band that went up to get a walker.
Walker, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's really cool. We have Sandor Clegane, also known as the Hound. He's also with the Brotherhood without banners. But I think the key with him is he's kind of along for the ride. He's with Jorah and everything like that. We're waiting for Clegane Bowl, right? Yeah. We're waiting for him and his brother to just duke it out for some reason.
But we keep seeing more and more this softer, more noble side of him showing through, and I love it. And it might just be because now he's out from underneath the Lannisters. He's on his own, and he's not being held to those standards anymore. That torturing people.
He doesn't have to be the Hound.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to be a vicious dog anymore.
Yeah. So it's really cool to see his character grow.
Bronn, he's at King's Landing. He's also one of my so many good characters. I keep saying he's one of my favorites, but it's funny that all the side characters are the characters that you really, really like.
Yeah, you appreciate more.
Yeah. Big thing he did is he helped Jon at King's Landing and not Jon at King's Landing, I'm sorry. Jaime. He ended up keeping him alive during the battle with the dragons, pushed him into the water. He's wanting one of his castles. That's one crazy thing is Lannisters always pay their debts. Yeah. He's owed one castle, please. And with Jaime gone, he's still at King's Landing. So I wonder what's going to happen there. Would he? I would like to see him just join up with Jaime and like, look, man, you owe me a castle. And Jaime's like, I'll get you a castle. It's going to take a little bit. Or is he going to? Because we already see him now throw away gold for the Lannisters. It's crazy. He's again a character is changing from mercenary to a decent knight. He's actually becoming a knight. Yeah. I like how all the side characters, a lot of them, the ones that are not knights, like Bronn, Davos is not a knight. Well, he is knight now. He's anointed knight. Brienne, who wasn't a knight for a long time. Yeah. These are the most knightly characters. I love that. Yeah. Melisandre, she's in Volantis, and she may be the freaking linchpin of this whole thing, man.
Yeah. Where's Volantis?
Volantis is like a slave city in Essos.
Okay.
But she's going over there to get the Red Priestess. So she may be bringing in, and remember what's the Lord of Light religion fear the most? The others, the dark side.
Oh yeah.
So there's gonna be this battle. We're gonna see a real Vale moment. There's gonna be this battle, and all of a sudden here comes a bunch of crazy red priests with fiery red swords, looking like Sith lords, cutting down White Walkers. Man,
that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. A whole army of red priests, just like spitting fire
and going around resurrecting people too, for the good.
Oh, wow.
Resurrecting a dragon for the good.
Oh, dude, don't do this to me. All right, that's predictionary. Write that down. That's your prediction. Tormund Giantbane. He's just comic relief, but he's over at Eastwatch. He may have died when the wall fell because he was on the wall when it went down. But
he ran. I mean, we see him turn around like, oh, shoot, we got to get out of here.
I think he's alive.
Yeah, they're not going to They would kill him off with a
He's got to see Brienne one more time. Yeah. Beric Dondarrion might have died with him, though. He's been resurrected 1,700 times.
He's such a good character, too. It was so... I can't remember the name of his healer, but it was so devastating to see him die in that last episode.
Yeah. God, what was his name? I don't have it written down.
Yeah, or second to last episode when they were on that rock.
Thoros Amir.
Thoros, yeah.
There you go. Lightning Lord. He's pretty badass, but his days are numbered. Gendry Baratheon, he's on that boat as well. Pretty interesting character in the fact that he should be the new Baratheon.
I thought he died when they were on that rock. Didn't he get pushed into the crowd of walkers?
No, he's alive.
Oh, okay. I thought he died. Oh, never mind.
No,
I'm probably wrong.
He's alive. He's been rowing so long that his arms are freaking built. So yeah, he's back. He's the last Baratheon basically, and he's the rightful heir to Stormwatch by the Sea. Which is the Baratheon home, and I think him and Arya are gonna get together. I want him and Arya to get together. I don't think really that'll happen.
Yeah, because they did spend some time together when she was a prisoner, just after the dad died.
And I think he respects her like she is. Yeah. Not he's not gonna try to put her in a dress or anything like that. Yeah. He just wants to have her as a friend for life. Maybe that'll be how it goes. But I think that'd be nice to get together. Yeah. Mira Reed's still alive, and she is the friend that was protecting Bran the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So Mira Reed's important. She's on her way home. Probably. But here's the thing with Mary Reed, and her brother Jojen died a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
The Reeds, the father Reed, was with Ned Stark when they found out about Jon's true parentage.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Reed people are like crazy good hunters and everything like that. Like they're such a unique people. They joke around that they're frog eaters because they like live in the swamp and they eat frogs. But they hunt at a different level than everybody else. They're like guerrilla fighters. Oh, that's a good way to put it. They're guerrilla fighters, right? So if she goes back and brings up the Reed army, that's a whole new kind of fighting style. And again, her dad knows who Jon Snow really is. That's one more person, including Brandon, Sam, and Gilly, that know who Jon really is. So it'd be cool to see Mira Reed show up again and just be like with a spear and stuff and do some cool shit.
So see, they'd fight more like the wildlings, but with the chainmail and armor and stuff that the Westeros kingdoms have, right?
Yeah, it'd be really neat. Next up, the next person that we have that's probably still alive is Ilaria Sand. Last time we saw her, she was chained into the dungeons with her daughter. Her daughter was poisoned by Cersei, and she was left alive. The last we seen her, she was alive, so we don't know if she's dead or not.
Yeah.
She could have a moment when they're like going down to break out Yara Greyjoy. They could see her too, maybe break her out. She's like half dead. It'd be kind of nice because Dorne needs something. Like they killed off Dorne way too easy.
Yeah.
And they're really a cool people. Like they're different people.
And they wouldn't have brought them in just to kill them all off.
They brought them in because they have a bigger story normally. Yeah. But then the fan reaction wasn't so good to them, so they like literally just killed them off real fast. It was like within one episode that you lost half the Dorne cast.
Yeah.
Finally, the last person alive that we want to see dead. Questionable if he's even alive. The Night King. He's currently at Eastwatch. He brought down the wall, and he's bringing his army south.
Yeah, he was flying on the dragon, right?
Yeah, he's flying on Viserion, who is his new zombie dragon. I love that phrase.
Zombie dragon.
With blue flames. All right. Yeah. All right, so, Jonathan, that's where everybody's at right now. When you watch a show, this is where everybody's at. The people that are alive, people that were watching.
Intense.
But I'm excited for what's coming up next. All right, we got some theories out there. I have theories. You have theories where people are going to be, where you want to see happen. But first, I want to read some popular theories that are out there. I think these are funny to kind of see what other people are thinking.
Yeah.
And we'll go over those real quick. Okay, first of all, here's a theory. We'll talk about how crazy or realistic they are. Melisandre will return with an army to save the day. We talked about that a little bit. Yeah. I think that's
possible.
I think it's possible. I would like to see it a given.
Yeah.
She says that she will die in Westeros, so we know that she's coming back for sure. Yeah.
I don't see her being a overall good doer, though. I don't know if she would...
Her whole purpose is to fight the Night's King. She was looking for Azor Ahai.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I mean everything we've seen from her always leads to suffering and death and nothing really good except for resurrecting Jon.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe she's coming back with an army to help
save the day.
I guess. We'll see.
All right. Again, some of these are crazy and are just not going to happen.
I like the crazy ones.
Okay. Ned Stark is alive and will return.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, he was just hanging out down in the crypt just to buy time.
They did bring a box of his bones around.
Yeah.
But, maybe.
Those are pig bones.
But yeah, pig bones. You're right. No, I think I saw the bacon. Tyrion is actually a Targaryen, too.
That's you've mentioned before that's possible.
I'm going to break that theory down.
Okay.
Let me know. This is book stuff, and I don't want to talk about book stuff much, but Tyrion's mother was flirting with Aerys Targaryen at one of these like tournaments they were having.
Daenerys' dad, right?
Daenerys' dad,
yeah.
Then she got pregnant, right? So everybody's thinking there's this like a little rumor that's going out there that Tyrion's actually a Targaryen kid, and when he was born, that's why he has like one eye that's different color than the other eye. His hair color is a little different than the other Targaryens.
He's a dwarf.
He's misshapen. That might be also a reason why Tywin hated him so much. It's because he's a reminder that my wife cheated on me.
And she died from the birth.
Right, yeah. But Tywin's wife was like the soul of his life. Like it's always talked about in the books, like how the only soft part in Tywin's entire life was his wife.
Yeah.
So the fact that she could have cheated on him would have been like, at that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like he went crazy over that.
Ooh. What if we find out that that's all true, but she didn't die from the birth? It was the child was born, proof that she slept with a Targaryen and he murdered her out of rage.
Could be. Which would have made him like so angry from then.
So bitter.
Tyrion's always a reminder that he killed his own wife.
Oh God, that would be really good.
I love this
That'd
show.
be deep. Oh, I like that.
So, if that's the case, what that means is Tyrion could be a Lannister, or I'm sorry, a Targaryen.
Yeah.
which would mean, and there's always this rumor of the 3-headed dragon, like each person will mount the dragon.
Yeah.
Tyrion could be mounting a dragon because he can like
Tyrion, Jon, and Daenerys side by side.
Shit.
If one of them gets resurrected for the good by the
right, we
Lord
did
of
lose a
Light.
dragon, but that's the idea. Because
Bran,
there's 3-headed
will
dragon.
possess it, tame it, bring it down, and then the Lord of Light with Melisandre will turn it back to good.
I think you got something right there.
Yeah.
I'll call George R. R. Martin and see if he hasn't finished that part yet.
We'll give him an update.
You got it.
Hey,
You got it.
Here's your updated script, just loosely. Here
What about talking about George listens to this podcast?
Yeah.
Hi, George.
He's got it. Hopefully you get it before the first episode airs.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So Tyrion made a deal with Cersei and will betray Daenerys.
No, I don't see that being possible.
What if he thinks because we see that he thinks that Daenerys might lose control, might lose focus?
Yeah.
Do you think he would make a deal with Cersei? And I don't see it happening.
She's so much more psychotic than Daenerys could ever be.
Yeah, I think he just can't trust her at all. He wants to put ashes in her mouth.
Yeah.
Arya will become Littlefinger.
I don't see that happening either.
You don't think she took his face as soon as she killed him to save it for another day?
Oh, I thought you meant doing what he's been doing, trying to manipulate.
No, Sansa's the one doing that.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying to control the veil, maybe.
Yeah, I could totally see that. That would be perfect because, like, she slits his throat just like the others. They don't damage the face; they could reuse it. Why would you not take the face and hang on to it for future use? So
Yeah, that could be possible.
that'd be great.
Bran is secretly the Night King. He's controlling him the whole time.
I don't know. We've touched on that before, but I think that's just too far out there. I think it's too far out there for a TV show to put that on the audience.
So I think that theory is more saying that Bran is just a... Yeah, okay. So the next theory is Bran built the wall. Okay.
Through time?
Through time.
Yeah, I could see that.
Let me explain why this one's possible and why I wish it was true.
Mm-hmm.
Bran has the ability to go back in time and influence things. We see that he could, if he tries hard enough, influence things.
Yeah, through Hodor.
Right. Well,
scene. And
he's whispered to Ned even when he was going to whisper.
That's true.
There is a famous person in history called Bran the Builder, who was a handicapped Stark, who built the wall. He built Storm's Watch. He built all kinds of things. I think he built Winterfell as well. Bran the Builder. He was one of the best Starks in history.
And that's who Bran was named after, right?
That's who Bran was named after.
That's so funny.
Brandon, his uncle, was named after him. All the Brans, there's only so many names that each family uses.
Yeah.
That's Bran the Builder. Yeah. Theory could be is seeing the problem of the Night King. He goes back in time and he finds a random Stark named Bran or whatever, lives his life through him, and makes him build the wall. Makes him build all these things that we find later on will be vital to slaying or slowing down the Night's King. Yeah. Maybe Stormwatch becomes important to stop the Night's King. So he goes back in time to make sure that thing's built. Make sure Winterfell's built. Make sure the wall's built. He could be going back in time to save all this stuff.
That'd be cool. Live out this guy's life to make all that happen.
To save the future. It'd be nuts.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be intense. I don't know how they would unpack that in the next 6 episodes.
Yeah, it'd be that's true.
It'd have to be
pretty big for the show.
Yeah, a time lapse.
Next up, Clegane Bowl.
Oh yeah,
that is a theory that is going to happen. Show.
It's got to at some point.
Entertainment Weekly showed a picture of those two, like it was a posed picture, like they knew they were taking the picture, but of the two smashing swords together.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, confirmed.
So have we seen the Mountain really battle since he's been turned? Since he's been
he's
resurrected?
killed a few people, but I don't think we've seen him in fight.
Yeah, because he's very rigid, very slow as far as we've seen so far. He's like a moving mountain. He doesn't really... Yeah. We haven't seen him, I don't think, swing a sword and jump and bounce or anything like that, which he never really did much before. But so that'd be interesting. It'd be really nice to see. I'm really wondering... of course, I pray the Hound wins. We've seen before that...
Oh, of course.
The terrible... the good will die and the terrible will reign. But if the Hound does defeat him, I'm wondering how. Can he just lob off a piece of him and he dies? Or, with his being resurrected... What does it take to kill him? Does he need to use Valyrian steel or something like that? Maybe, I don't know. It's dark magic. Is it the same as the walkers with the dragon's glass?
I mean, it's just. I think he would use fire because it's what the Hound was afraid of. So he'd overcome his fear to kill.
That would be good. Yeah,
I think that'd be kind of cool because it's a zombie. So maybe he just burn his flesh all the way down.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Next up, Jaime will kill Cersei. This is a 2-parter.
I think. Either Jaime or Tyrion, one of those two has to do it. But she has to die. And you told me the prophecy of the younger brother.
There's a prophecy where they did show a little bit of the show where Cersei, as a girl with her friend, went to go see this like fortune teller basically, who tells them 3 different things. Your kids will have blonde hair. you'll lose them before you're dead, whatever, stuff like that. And then that you'll die by your little brother. Mm-hmm. She assumed Tyrion, but Jaime is still her little brother because she was born first of the twins.
Yeah.
So I do feel Jaime will kill her through one way or another.
Yeah.
Here's the next theory, and we'll expand on it, okay? Next theory, Arya is going to kill Cersei.
I see what you're saying there.
Okay.
Maybe Arya will take the face of Jaime, whether he dies in battle or if she kills him for some reason, and goes back and kills. Yeah, that would check off two boxes. Yeah,
and I'd like to see Jaime die heroically because he's trying to finish that heroic arc. He'll die heroically in Brienne's arms, preferably.
Maybe,
and then she'll take the face, go kill Cersei,
or she'll die protecting Arya.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. Or protecting Bran, the one he pushed out the window.
Yeah, actually, that'd be cool.
I'm telling you, if this doesn't happen,
another Hodor moment.
Yeah. Hodor. Jon or Daenerys is the prince who was promised. I think that's a given.
Yeah.
So that's basically like it's Azor Ahai. There's another one later on. Azor Ahai will be revealed. I think they are. I think the combination of both of them is the flaming sword. It is the Azor Ahai prophecy.
Yeah.
What if I like this one, and it is the most. It's the most popular of all the theories. Mm-hmm. Okay. What if Sam is the one telling this story the whole time? So the reason I like this, let me kind of give some context of how this would work.
Yeah, I could see that. But
at the end of the show, say a couple of them are alive, like to think Tyrion is alive.
Yeah.
Then later on we see that, Tyrion ended up making his own wine, and he has a nice brewery in Casterly Rock. He runs Casterly Rock now.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what would be cool about this is then we pan out, and it is Sam reading to little Sam.
Yeah.
This book he wrote, and Tyrion lived happily ever after. Jon did this, Daenerys did this, if they're alive or dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what do you think?
I could see that. I mean, I don't think it's necessary to put it in a box like that, to have it being narrated from that perspective, but it would be a cute way to end it, I guess.
It's kind of what Lord of the Rings did, because Bilbo was writing the book, stuff like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's a maester, and he's studying
he would be doing that.
Yeah. Carry on the memories.
Yeah. And then and George R. R. Martin, the writer of Game of Thrones, is also a very big fan and respects Gerald Tolkien, the one that wrote Lord of the Rings. So there is kind of a little bit of there too. Daenerys is pregnant with Jon's baby. This is a gimme. There's no way that she's not pregnant with Jon's baby.
Really?
Oh, come on, it's too perfect.
How are they going to play that in so suddenly? So at the end of the story, oh yeah, by the way, I'm knocked up.
If Sam's telling that story, they can fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
She's got to be pregnant, I think, though.
Reading the story to their kid?
It would be too perfect.
Or will we see Sam reading that story when he's 80 years old? Or he's the great maester who's, way old, reading it to Jon's grandkids or something like that, to even the next generation. Because his son Sam will be a grown knight by now.
Yeah, he'd be like the Aemon Targaryen to Jon.
Yeah,
from the first season.
That would be kind of cool.
Oh, I like that idea.
Passing on the knowledge to maybe the next young group of maesters or something like that too.
Cersei is pregnant with Euron's baby, but Cersei might lose the baby in the end of season 8 or within season 8.
Or she just dies with a baby in her.
I like that. Well, I like the idea if she loses the baby and then she just goes freaking crazy.
You know what would be, I think, could be even more plausible is that she doesn't have a baby in her at all. But she is psychotic and she has to have that child to protect. So she's thinking that herself and convincing herself that she's pregnant.
Well, a lot of people predict that she's faking the whole thing to try to keep Jaime around. Because the idea that it's Euron's baby, I don't think is realistic.
Yeah.
I think that part of the prophecy is not going to happen. I do think that if she's pregnant, she'll lose it and it'll make her go crazy. Or if she doesn't have it, she's just trying to keep Jaime around.
Yeah.
I see both of those.
And convince herself to have a reason to live. I don't think she doesn't have to be doing it just for Jaime, but to be... have something to hope for in her grief-stricken mind. Yeah.
Next one, Nymeria will make another comeback. I hope so.
Definitely. I mean, there was just those tiny little glimpses we have of her. We had Arya seeing through her eyes at a couple, and I think one or 2 points, and then the time that she met her in the woods when she decided to go north to Winterfell.
In the book, she sees through her eyes, but I don't think in the show she does.
Oh, okay. So then we only saw her that one time in the woods before she left north.
She has a huge super pack too, like a ton of wolves with her.
Yeah,
it'd be cool if during a battle you got the Red Priestess coming in, and you got a bunch of wolves just show up and
the wolves just tearing through the dead.
We do know that Ghost is making his appearance again. Ghost is coming back.
That's cool
because we haven't CGI wise is dragon or wolf. But they busted out all the budget for this one.
Man, Yeah, you got dragons flying in and wolves coming in behind him.
Jon will become a dragon rider.
Yeah, I think I could totally see that. Now that we know that he's, it's been confessed that he's Targaryen.
Yeah, I think he's got to get on it.
Yeah, and even if it's just the two of them, if the third dragon doesn't come into play, then that'll still be cool to see the two.
I think a dragon on dragon fight is going to be awesome looking. Mm-hmm. I mean, that, again, CGI budget going up there.
Yeah.
All right, John. So you got your list of the cast members. We don't have to go over all of them, but what do you think will happen with Tyrion Lannister?
So I agree with like half of the ones we just went over.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like to think he's the one that survives out of all of this.
Yeah.
And he I really like the idea of him becoming having his own winery and creating his own Impish Delight is something he had mentioned before.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if he made something called Impish Delight and he has his own wine and it retires. Ends with like him and Bronn just out drinking their wine.
Yeah.
And just having a good old time. And I don't know.
So you mean at the very end, after all these battles, at the end of
season
8?
What do you think is going to happen with Tyrion throughout the season? I think he'll survive the fights.
Yeah,
I think he's
going to stay with them and be a tactician in their battle.
I wonder. I almost don't want him to become a political at all because he is super good at politics.
And there's not really a lot of politics in this kind of battle, anyways. There's no strategy of the dead. It's just march down and kill everything. So
I think he's going to be worried more about the southern fight while everybody else, So
yeah, so I do in a way hope that he just goes down and kills Cersei, but I don't think the story would play out right if they did that.
Yeah.
He already got his vengeance by killing his father. So, I think he's played most of what he's in the story to play. So, like you're saying, he'll probably just continue with supporting their efforts and then retire when all this is done.
Do you think he'll be a political leader, or do you think he'll just go home and just?
I think
I could see him leading Castle Rock, but kind of like almost in retirement.
No, I could see him doing like Bronn does. Like, I got a castle, I got my people, I don't need to overextend myself. Let me just go back and relax.
Okay. Jaime Lannister, how's season 8 go for him?
I'm pretty sure, like you're saying, I think he's going to die. He's a great character, and we've seen him change from being a sadistic douchebag that we didn't like in the first season to now you're really rooting for him. He lost his primary hand, but he's still a great swordsman, and he's learned so much integrity and respect over the seasons. So we want to see him maintain that honor, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see him die in battle, hopefully saving somebody huge and making a good name for himself in the process, redeeming himself to the family that hates him as well, redeeming himself to the Starks.
Yeah. I'm going to say that, I think he'll die. I think he'll die nobly, and I want to say with Brienne.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say he ends up, at the end, being with Brienne.
So who's Brienne? Do you think Brienne's going to have the love, whatever you call it, relationship with him, or show a love connection with him, or love connection with?
I think it'll be with Jaime.
Oh, okay.
I think the other one's just cute. I don't think it's actually going to flourish.
Oh, okay.
I think.
What's his name? I can't remember.
Tormund Giantbane.
Tormund.
Yeah.
Tormund.
I think she'll. First off, I think 80% of the cast will die. I really think a lot of people will die.
Yeah.
So I think actually Brienne will probably die as well. But I think it'll be after Jaime dies, she'll fight on and then go down outnumbered, something like that. So that's my prediction for Brienne. I'll go and throw that one down too.
All right.
That she'll go on. I think it'll be in a battle, and I think it'll be nobly as well. She doesn't deserve a harsh death. She deserves the noble death. She fought for it. She'll die as a knight. It's something that she's always wanted to be, and as a woman, she had a hard time getting that title.
Yeah.
So I think she'll die as a knight.
Yeah, I could see that.
The hard thing is George R. R. Martin has told us, do not plan for a happy ending.
Yeah.
Cersei Lannister, talk about happy ending. How is she going?
Oh, she's got to die.
Why should she be the only one that lives? That'd kill me.
That'd be so season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's going to do like she said. She's going to betray the alliance that she made. She's going to probably send troops to, take back the lands that she's lost, but in which she's going to be overextending herself.
Yeah.
And maybe she'll push north and in her arrogance be there at the battlefield, or try to come up behind the Starks and all the rest when they either lose or win. And yeah, she's got to die by the end of the season.
All right, let's talk next about Theon Greyjoy. What do you think's going to happen with him?
So last we saw, he was getting on the boat with some of his men to go try and find his sister, Yara.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see him be successful. He's just kind of, like we were saying, he got that weight lifted off him of Jon's approval, at least, or forgiveness. So I want to see him find his sister and help put her into power, and then step back and not be an advisor, not be part of the family, but go and just live his own life.
I'd like to see him become an advisor. He needs to be heroic. He needs to do a series of heroic things. I'd like to see him become an advisor, though. So. That'd be nice.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think he's lived a very heavy life already, so he could be an advisor.
Then he's going to have to go through a lot in saving his sister to prove himself worthy to her again after just straight abandoning her.
Yeah, that's fair. Sam, how do you think season 8's going to go for Sam?
Well, so he's
on his way to Winterfell after thinking that the Citadel's not doing enough.
Yeah. So he comes with, books of knowledge and, all this studying he's been doing, trying to figure out how to fight the undead. So, he already has some of the keys, like the dragon's glass and stuff. So I'm sure he's going to have a couple extra nuggets that we don't know yet that are going to be game changers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see him maybe step out and actually want to be on the battlefield too, just because he has some of that Night's Watch training, even though he was never good at it.
Yeah.
But it'll be good to see him play a more effective role now that he's going up to join everybody. But I think he would be a good advisor to stick with Jon after all this is done.
Be Jon's hand to the king?
Maybe not hand, but like Varys is to or just be his maester.
I think what he'll do is he'll become Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Think so?
Yeah, how cool would that be? Well, he was shunned by the Night's Watch so hard when he first got there, and then he'll be given Lord Commander. He could end up leading his family.
But he's not a general. He's not a tacticianist who doesn't want to fight wars. He wants to study.
Yeah, but we're learning now that that's not what's needed to be the leader of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
If they had listened to him, they would have been more prepared because he's a smarter person. He's a smarter way of thinking.
Yeah.
The Night's Watch will need something different. They don't need military men. Yeah. They need somebody who's passionate, who will help protect the wildlings, not fight the wildlings, and who are gathering knowledge. So also, I'd like to see him lead the Night's Watch.
Will we need a Night's Watch after this?
That's a good point. We might not. The Night's Watch job might be a whole different thing.
Perhaps he will be one of the first to begin settling the North.
I like that idea. Take Gilly North and start settling it.
Yeah. She knows it. The wildlings that they've traveled with know how to live in the North, and if they defeat the Night King and all this threat is done, then perhaps they're going to want to go regain the wildlings regain the lands that they once had.
Yeah, I could see that. What about Lord Varys? Where are we going with Varys?
He can go any which way. I kind of imagined he was going to die.
You think he would die? Huh?
I think so.
I like to think him, Bronn, and Tyrion are all hanging out together in Castle Rock.
So? I've never really liked Varys.
Oh, really? I always liked Varys.
He always seems so crooked, and I get like he's stepping back and looking at the greater good, looking out for the innocent people, not the kings and queens and such.
Yeah.
But he always gave me the same vibe as Littlefinger, where he could be bought if you wanted him and his birds to whisper in your direction, and he's like a politician. You can pay him, bribe him to side with you on anything. So I don't know. Maybe if he shows a little more integrity, it would be good to keep him around. But then again, during the battle, he's not going to be out on the battlefield. So maybe, I don't know.
I like to think that I wonder if he could do something brave and die. I don't think so. I don't think so. I like to see that he retires and
goes.
How about this? He retires and he just joins the people again. Like he opens maybe a little shop in the middle of King's Landing, and
Uncle
we just
Iroh
see him
status.
he just kind of walks off, gets a little tea shop like that, like how you say Uncle Iroh.
Blends into the crowd.
Just joins the people. Now that he protected them, he's going away as an unsung hero.
I could see that.
I'm all of my ideas so far are way too happy.
Yeah.
So that's not my idea. My predictions are not going to happen if that's the problem. If that's the case. All right, we'll do a couple more side characters, and then we'll return to the big ones.
Okay.
The Hound.
I think we'll see the Hound die too. He's such an awesome character. Hopefully he defeats the Mountain. But I'm sure we're still going to see him die in glorious battle.
Glorious battle.
Yeah.
Hopefully surrounded by friends.
Yeah.
Maybe in flames.
Yeah.
I think there's something big. I think he'll kill the Mountain with flames, but there's something big with him and fire. There's going to be something there.
I don't want to see him because that means that he was defeated by the fire that he was afraid of. So I'd rather see him use the fire to kill his brother, and then he dies like being accepted by the knights around him as a fellow knight or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, Bran Stark. Sorry, Bran Stark.
Oh, he's got to live on. I mean, like you're saying that perhaps we'll see that he is the true creator of the wall. That would be
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be huge. It's so hard to unpack in the short time we have, but it would be really cool to see. There's got to be more depth to his character. They built his character to be so powerful and haven't really explored that power much. So
I actually think it might go the other way with this. Okay, so I think if the knights, if the White Walkers are going to be killed, I think it'll become like an end of magic. So for that to happen, you're going to have to lose dragons and Bran. So I can see the dragons dying, Bran dying, knights, the White Walkers dying, magic's gone, it's the era of humanity, and the children of men are dead now. I could see it being done.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that. How would they play that out? But because I have. Well, let's go over each character as we go on, but I have a grand thing of how I think this is going to all finish. Okay.
So we'll talk about that. I think he could boil into that pretty well too, actually.
Yeah.
What do you think of Arya Stark?
I think, kind of like you said with Varys, I think she'll disappear. We'll kind of not know where she's going because she's a faceless man now. She's
nobody.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. I mean, I like your idea earlier, but she'll take Littlefinger's face. Maybe she'll take Jaime's face and kill Cersei. Maybe she'll take Littlefinger's face and control the Vale. But I don't think she really wants power. She just wants justice. So
yeah,
she might just continue to live as a faceless man and kind of blend into the surroundings. I don't know.
I think what'll happen, she'll die in battle. Mm-hmm. Maybe while she's killing Cersei, she's like stabbed. That'd be cool. But she'll warg into Nymeria and live the rest of her life as a wolf.
I would see that in the book, but since we haven't seen any sense of her warging abilities in the show, they wouldn't do that. I don't think.
I'd like to see her just kind of like on the prowl forever. Like maybe she'll become a hedge knight and just like cruise around and she'll go find what's the guy that made the pies? Pod or whatever? Not Podrick, but
Hot Pie.
Hot Pie. She'll find Hot Pie and then be like, "Hey, buddy, let's go. Let's just go running around town."
What if she does die in battle, and then somebody finds her and pulls her face off and realizes she wasn't her this whole time? She was actually another faceless man
or something like that,
carrying on her
and
her
she's
dying
still blind over there. Oh wow! Or oh god, already dead.
Yeah, her face is gone.
Jonathan, don't do that to me, man. Okay, I know this is gonna be a depressing ending, but don't do that to me.
Yeah, but
Arya
that
needs
means
to do some killing.
Somebody else, tried to carry on her dying wish or something.
God, that'd be crazy.
Nah.
Sansa Stark. What do you think it's going to end with Sansa?
She's a master manipulator now. She's learning. She's getting more powerful at it. So I think she's gonna live on. She's gonna be one of the few survivors of this huge battle to carry on the kingdoms afterwards.
Yeah.
I would like to see her stay there as Lord of Winterfell, and Jon and Daenerys go off to rule the Seven Kingdoms, or really they can rule both continents. To
Essos too?
Yeah.
Essos.
All the lands that she took as she came, I guess.
I see what
not
you're
everything, but
yeah, I see what you're saying. Because the guy that
the kingdom could be bigger.
Don Darien is still running Marine, and I guess like it's in havoc right now. It's crazy.
Oh.
After she left. Okay, Daenerys Targaryen. Second to the last person we're talking about.
So I'm hoping neither her or Jon die. Of course, that's a very high hopes, but the two of them would rule together after all this is said and done. They defeat the Night King.
I thought I was being hopeful.
I know, right? I mean, if she's pregnant, cool. But the two of them, side by side on dragons, the two Targaryens, him king, her queen, it would be just an awesome way to end it. Like there's gonna, presumably be peace between the kingdoms because they are from two noble houses and they could reunite everybody after the Great War. I guess I don't know.
That's cute that you think that.
Yeah. You think she's gonna die? What?
Oh, it's gonna be rough, man. All right, Jon Snow's ending. We'll go into it later on. Jon Snow's ending.
Same thing, side by side with her.
Okay.
Ruling. I mean, he's undead. I don't want to imagine how they would have to kill him, but they can't kill him. He's too amazing. That's just Ned Stark and all.
All right, so let me break down how I think it'll actually all end because I don't want to give my predictions on those two because it's part of it.
Nah.
We know it's already been mentioned before. The actor of Night's King has said that the Night King is going south to kill one in particular person.
Mm-hmm.
That's his motivation.
Mm-hmm.
and to spread his winter. But I think he's heading south to. He could have been trying to kill Bran, but um, I what I think is happening is, and I talked to you about this before a while back. I like to think that he needs Jon Snow.
Why?
Because he needs somebody to take up his mantle.
To be his successor.
To be his successor. It's not like they breed really or whatever. I feel like the Night's King is part Stark. There's a long story behind that. And I feel like he thinks that Jon Snow, being of ice and fire, would be the one to. So I think, or he's trying to kill Daenerys, but he's going south. He would have gone east first, but they can't, So I think he's headed south for Jon. I think that there will be this big. There's an island called the Isle of Faces that still has like some Children of the Forest, stuff like that.
Where Rickon might be.
Where no, he's up in a different place with cannibals. That's in the book. Yeah, that's a whole crazy thing. No. Anyway, so I forget Skagos, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
Isle of Faces is this little island that's in the middle of a big lake. That's like it's east and north of King's Landing, south of Winterfell. It's kind of like right in the center of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that'll become the meeting spot for everybody. And I think what'll happen, it's really important. It's just south of Harrenhal. It's like, it's always been in the background of everything. It's always been, Harrenhal's been mentioned like how many times? Yeah. And it's not even, like nobody owns that castle. Well, I don't know, maybe somebody does now because they always give it to people, but it's always a curse to give to somebody.
Yeah.
It's always mentioned in history. It's like, Harrenhal's where the big tournament that happened where Rhaegar showed Lyanna that he liked her. Like, it's always been a problem. I think it's coming back. I think it's where it's all going to end, actually.
Yeah.
And I think what will happen is, I think the Night's Watch needs somebody to, or not, the Night's King needs somebody to replace him.
Yeah.
He wants Jon Snow. Jon Snow, I think, got Daenerys pregnant, so he will tragically leave and become the new Night's King for the purpose of holding the Horde at bay. I think he'll become the Night's King so that he could hold back the White Walkers, so that he could hold back the army and take them back north and let the rest of the kingdom live in peace. And he'll do that until he loses his mind. I think that might have been the original Night's King purpose too, is to hold back these crazy things. But as he loses his mind, he starts to multiply and spread. That's what I'm predicting. Okay? I think that in the agreement, I think in this battle, the dragons will die. I think Bran might die. I think we'll lose a lot of our magic. I think as he's going north, he rebuilds the wall. He has the ability to control ice. I think that the wall was built by the White Walkers. So, because it just doesn't, it makes way more sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that he'll rebuild the wall because he has enough sense to like, look, this needs to slow me down when I lose my mind. And he goes north and goes all the way into the land of always winter. So
you think being the Night King makes you slowly go insane?
I like to think so. I kind of think it's a little bit of if you guys know World of Warcraft, I think it's like the Lich King in that sense. So I think being the Night King, you're living for
Simon from Adventure Time. Go ahead.
Oh wow, good one, Jonathan. Nice.
He also controls ice.
Oh boy, look at that.
A lot of similarities in this.
Yeah. So I think that's the idea, is that you live forever, you start to go insane. So he starts to make all the same, and it's the idea of cycle, because I think a cycle is kind of important for this thing. So Daenerys now, she says she wants to break the wheel. I think she'll actually like use her dragon, or maybe not even with the dragon. I think they'll literally destroy the Iron Throne, and she will create a senate or a council with a representative from each kingdom. And I like to think that Sansa represents the North. I would like to think that Tyrion possibly will represent the West with Casterly Rock, and maybe Theon can represent the East. I think we could get, or maybe it'll be no names, but that way you have representative government instead of an overarching queen or king, and then like maybe she'd be like a head of the small council type of thing like that.
It'd be good to see the new generation step up, like Jon having his bannermen swear fealty to him, and he has this young boy and this young girl who stand up to represent their family. And it'd be kind of cool to see that with the new kingdom, that all right, all this bad blood is gone. We're starting over with the next generation.
So I think we're going to see a cycle of the overall arcing story. Like at some point, Jon will come down and try to wreak havoc upon Westeros, but he's going to hold him back until he loses his mind. I think the government will have to see a full-on government change in Westeros for everybody to live in peace. And it'll hopefully kind of like address things a little differently. I think we'll see like a Senate arise. So that's what I think. Because the thing about that is, we know that George R. R. Martin has talked about how the ending will not be happy. You're losing Jon Snow. He's going to become a villain later on. You're losing him. Daenerys is not queen. She might be part of the small council, or she might be like the chairman of the small council, kind of thing like that. I'm using words that they won't use, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No one's a real winner, but peace continues.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best we can look for is peace continues.
Man. Yeah. I'm thinking too is if the battle at the wall gets out of control and they have to like, I want to see Cersei's men get stuck in the battle, get pulled into the battle. So if they have to run flee south to regroup, and then that's where they meet with Cersei's army and sway them with Jaime there to join them instead of fighting them, killing them, and then they
fight for the living, not for Cersei.
Push. Yeah.
I think Cersei will be killed by Arya Stark using Jaime's face while she's wanting to burn down the city with like wildfire she made.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll be a Mad King Aerys.
Yes, a mirroring of his backstabbing.
Yeah, so I think that she'll try to do that and be killed that way.
Yeah.
I don't think that she'll be attacked by Daenerys full force. I don't think so. Although I say that, and again, I avoided production news as much as possible, but there are some things you know. So spoiler alerts, for a little bit of a spoiler alert, I'll give you guys 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There is one big battle we'll see in the first couple episodes at Winterfell. There's another big battle we see at King's Landing. Nice. So we know that there's 2 huge battles coming. Okay, it's not like Cersei will just die and then, oh yeah, Cersei's dead down there while we're fighting. No, there's going to be a big battle at King's Landing as well.
What about the Dornish? Are they still doing anything? They
killed them off because they weren't big fans of him. But the Dornish, they'll probably show up with like the Tyrells. They are supposed to be on Daenerys' side.
Yeah.
I don't know who leads them right now.
I would imagine they would try to march in, and I know that the Lannisters are a large army, but their king was murdered, right? Wasn't in that battle, it wasn't necessarily murder, is it?
Assassinated.
The way they do, but and then their queen is there being kept captive, possibly murdered already too.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I'm not really sure who's in charge over there. The book has a lot more about him, but on the show they purposely dropped him off. So they might just kind of like round it off a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be disappointing, but I could see it.
Yeah, just kind of put that one away. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good prediction for the future. You got any other predictions you want to throw out there?
No, that's a lot. I just can't wait to get it started.
I know, guys. So this all boils down to the last 2 parters is an announcement that we're going to be reviewing every episode that comes out, me and Jonathan.
Yes.
And so we'll get together. I'm not sure when it'll release. I like to say it'll be released by Tuesday, maybe Wednesday.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah.
Just because we'll have to get together after we watch it or whatever. We'll probably watch a couple of them together. But anyways, that's what's happening. We're gonna be bringing you guys Game of Thrones previews and or reviews. And talking about each episode as they go on, explaining things that might be hard to catch if you guys didn't know, because a lot of times something will happen and you have to like, oh no, that's because of this.
Yeah,
we'll be doing that for you.
Digging in deeper, and then after each episode, we could have a little bit of what we anticipate coming up.
The next one.
Yeah,
we're going to be reviewing every scene as they go on, because every scene in Game of Thrones, especially this season, is important. And so we're going to be doing that. I mean, the episodes, the first 2 episodes are an hour each, but like the last 2 episodes are 80 minutes each, so they ramp up a lot.
Long.
Yeah, it's going to be long episodes.
Our discussions are going to be huge.
They will be. Oh yeah. All right, guys. So come expect that. It's coming up. But that's pretty much it.
When's the first episode air? On the 16th?
It will air on, I want to say the 14th or 15th. Boy, I know. Really good that we know that, huh? Of all this stuff, we don't know when it starts.
Yeah.
But I think it's like 15. But it's coming up, guys. So, all right. We'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye.